These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
If you're looking to get serious in sim racing, one of the first things to do is upgrade your wheelbase and pedals. The powerful force feedback in our direct drive wheelbase makes a huge difference, and our highly adjustable precision pedals will give you the consistency you need to improve. So you'll not only get the best value for your money, but you'll also benefit from our quick, local shipping from Australia and save even more. Our transparent pricing has GST included, so there's no nasty surprises at checkout or further customs delays and charges. And if you're near Melbourne, you can simply pick up your hardware from our showroom and get a free product walkthrough from one of our VRS coaches. We offer excellent customer service after the sale, and our hardware is made of the highest quality components. To get yours today, just go to the URL on the screen or click on the button below. But hurry, stock is always limited due to high demand. So if you want to get faster, sooner, VRS is your answer.
Control, feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain, only one thing to do to get to victory lane. Taking risks, full send, and in the end, be the best. It's taking over. victory lane. I hear the echoes of the past, the roaring ghosts that never last. But here I stand, the finish line, one last race, one last time. Through it all, get past the pain, cutting laps, making gains, feeling tired, get to my aim. The desire to get to victory lane, speeding faster, no control. Feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain, only one thing to do to get to victory lane. Taking risks, full send, and in the end, be the best. It's taking over, cannot contain the desire to get to victory lane.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome in to the iRacing World Challenge presents the VRS Virtual Racing School Porsche Cup Series here tonight for round 5 of season 2 out at Shell V-Power Motorsports Park, otherwise known as the Bend. We come in for the first time here this evening. It makes its debut into the IRWC as it made its debut into the iRacing service this season as well. I'm your commentator tonight, Hamish Munro, joined once again by the great Brenton O'Brien alongside. Brenton, big night of racing alongside for us here tonight. Of course, the first time we get to come to the Bend, the first time we get to see it on our screens as well. Running that international layout, which of course the supercars race in real life. And I think it's going to be a good test for these drivers tonight. A feature round on offer for them, 60 minutes of racing around this track, which I'm really excited for. You know, we made the move and the decision to replace the circuit with the Bend this season. That circuit was Montreal. And yeah, I think it's going to offer us up some great racing. The officials that I've seen here have already thrown out some great battling, and I think with the Porsche Cup car and the racing we've seen this season, I think we're going to be in for a very similar scenario tonight.
Yep, thanks Hamish for the intro. Certainly not great, but really looking forward to this one, and it's a good choice changing Montreal for the Bend. So we're about hour and a half, 2 hours out of Adelaide, Tailem Bend. Look, the venue itself is magnificent. You know, it didn't take long to get built and put up, and Shahim did a great job. The location itself's in the middle of nowhere. As I say, when you come out to the Bend in the middle of summer, it's like living inside of a vacuum cleaner bag because it's just so dusty. But in winter, it gets cold, it gets wet. But the venue itself is magnificent. So really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's a good inclusion for iRacing as well. Of course, the different layouts this track has, the longest of which is the second longest permanent race circuit in the world as well. That's pretty much what it's marketed as, you know, as the GT layout, the layout that's used for Australian GT series. But this international layout, I think, personally for me, is that little bit better. It's not quite as long. There's a couple more passing opportunities as well, and I think it flows quite nicely too. You know, it's got a lot of similarities to a lot of great European circuits, as well as other Australian tracks that we already have here as well. There's some similarities to Phillip Island, to even some sections a little bit similar to Winton or to Sandown. And I think it's a track that, again, it's going to open up some great battling for us. The strategy game tonight's going to be interesting, of course, across 60 minutes. They are fuel limited, so they will need pit stops to make it home. I don't think, though, we're going to see many safety cars tonight because it's such a wide and open track, and unless we get some carnage off the start or somebody money shifts into turn 1 and they end up, you know, parked not too far away from the exit of turn 1, then we're not likely to see the VRS safety car here this evening.
No, that's fine. The racing will be pretty clean tonight, I would imagine. Like you said, wide open spaces, plenty of runoff areas. The only thing is that it's, for a lot of these guys, if not all of them, it's the first time they've raced here, so it's a very... Didn't it go up quickly from iRacing? I remember it didn't seem like that long ago they got scanned, and now all of a sudden here we are racing, and yeah, there's going to be a few that are caught out. I think the lap times will be fairly significantly large from those that have tested in comparison to those that haven't. Tricky track, quite technical. These guys are forever hoping to get the MotoGP over in their backyard. It's not going to happen. But it has had some decent events. Obviously, supercars are running their 500k there this year, and they had previously the Asian Le Mans series over there about 3 or 4 years ago too. Drag racing strips there. It's been built. It's fantastic. Take time if you're driving past to go have a look at that. But yeah, the racing should be close for the top guys. Like I said, there'll be a bit of a difference between those that can and can't. But looking forward to it overall.
Yeah, I think, and obviously, as we kind of run through this race tonight, I think we're going to be in for something that is quite special, of course, and I think it's a track that will, as I said, open up just some great racing for us, and I'm really, really excited for what it can bring. Give you an update on the points at the moment. Job Stewart leads the way on 722 points. Sam Muir, after drop rounds have now been included, sits in P2 on 682 points. Simon Mazzomo, through consistency alone, has gotten up to P3 on 667. Then Colby Warren on 661, with Ocean Colangelo in P5 at the moment on 632. Lockhart Brownlee, who sits P6, has actually pulled out of the series now, unfortunately, so he will naturally drop down the order. He has some other commitments that he has to put to, so we appreciate Lockhart racing this season. We hope we get to see him back again next season when we run up again for Season 3. Alan Dawson, Daniel Yeaman, Angus Lawford, Craig Schultz currently make up our top 10 in the championship, but with Lockhart pulling out, that will give some opportunities to other drivers in behind, with the likes of Sean Lindsell, Ellie Gardner, John Akers, Greg Favell, Alex Schuler and co. to make their way in towards the top within 2. Scott Gamble's also pulled out of the series as well in 17th, so he will also drop positions as well. So, I mean, there's often some natural losses throughout the season. Not everyone's going to remain for the whole season, and we're understanding of that. Hopefully next season we can obviously get everyone back again who signed up this season and more, because we'd love to be in the position where we can run 2 comfortable splits. That would be the absolute dream for us here. But, people are often going to drop out. It's a shame that Lockhart's dropped out, because he was someone who could have definitely challenged for this championship this season if things went his way. But it does open the door now for other drivers to get opportunities. But for Job, he's not in the session tonight. He hasn't made it by qualifying. Luckily for him, he has a drop round in hand. Now, drop rounds have been included on this list, but he will naturally gain back the points that he would have dropped from the Red Bull Ring back at round 2, Brenton. So it's not the worst for him. It's not like he's had a 0 prior to now and he's taking another 0 on board. He's at least getting his points back for the Red Bull Ring, which means that if drivers want to actually jump him in the standings, they have to outscore what he got out at the Red Bull Ring earlier in the season to better challenge him going forward for that first place in the title race.
Yeah, that's right. And so obviously Job away in Townsville for the weekend. Not sure if he's made it back. Probably has, but I'd say he'd be pretty bushed. It is a long flight back from Reed Park back to Melbourne. So hopefully, Job, if you're out there watching, enjoy what you could be doing. But obviously some family time, I would think, when he's got home. Quali has started, and we're just on the first of our flying laps at the moment. So we'd be interested to see the lap times as they come in, like very, very early on the flying laps. And I want to keep an eye tonight on Simon Mazzomo, carrying the plate number 1. I think if he wants to make a run at this championship, it starts tonight. Whilst the cat's away, the mice will play, and the cat is definitely away, Job Stewart. So these are the races tonight that he has to stand up and say, I'm the champion, I'm going to lead, I'm going to take the front and make the most of it. So I'm interested to see if he can do that tonight. And also, I'd say that he's had, from what I understand, he's the type that would have actually had quite a bit of practice here. So looking forward to seeing what he can produce. The other one we'll talk about before, Sean Lindsell, does not appear to be in the server either. So, it's a shame that we lost Lockie Brownlee, because I thought he actually had a bit going for him there, but he's got some other commitments, which is understandable. So, yeah, we're looking out for Simon Mazzomo's under the gun tonight.
Yeah, I think both Simon and Sam Muir need to maximise tonight now. I think anything less than a podium for both of them is a loss, at least for what they can gain on Job tonight. If Simon were to take his first win at any time, it would have to be here. Sam would hope to be getting himself another win, as he puts it on provisional pole, 150.716. So they're longer lap times tonight as well. If we say we're averaging 151s or 52s throughout the race of 60 minutes, we're going to get roughly 35 laps if we go green the whole way. So it's plenty of time for battling to happen. I think tonight as well, it's an opportunity for Ocean Colangelo to back up, the performances that she's had during the races. We mentioned a few weeks ago, needs to try and maximise on these race starts to try and really reap the benefits of her racing ability. Now, she is reaping that in the fact of she's in the top 5 of the championship, but there's always improvements she can make. And I think if she can get away well tonight, if she can even qualify the car in the top 10 and get away well tonight, she could be a podium challenger tonight as well. Another driver I've just seen get up towards top of the list, Ryan Mueller. Now, he's not in the championship hunt. Of course, he missed quite a few rounds at the start of the season. He was late in. But he's wanting to learn more and more in this car. Showed some really good pace last week in his first outing out at Winton. I'll be watching him tonight with a close eye to see how much more he can improve, especially at this track. And it may come down to, Brenton, which of these drivers have done the most races here or the most laps through the officials, not necessarily in this car, but how much track knowledge do they have of this place, because that will benefit them, I think, a lot more than someone who may have a lot of car knowledge, but not so much track knowledge, because this is a very difficult track to learn the nuances of how you can get the most out of the car.
Well, you would think now that most of the guys and gals would know the car. So you're right, it's track knowledge, making the most, getting your lines right, where to brake, where to accelerate, just pretty much the basics of every other track, except a lot of these, a lot of the guys and gals out there wouldn't have driven here a hell of a lot. And we've got a bit of a spoiler, like Sam Muir's at the moment quite comfortably on provisional pole, 0.67 ahead of second place. But the spoiler is that Job's away, but there is en masse some ERT cars here, as Lockie Capel just goes to P2, and Matty Bowler's just gone to P2. So the ERT guys are 2 and 3. They might try and spoil the party of Sam Muir and of Simon Mazzomo. And we're talking about Ocean before. She's been an absolute superstar. She's been a bit of a revelation, to be honest with you. Like, has come from nowhere to be where she is now. Very, very active driver. Like, ERT can't keep up with her, the amount of series that she's doing. But she does a cracking job. And you're right. Like, her one lap pace is okay. Her starts are just horrific. But her race pace is exceptional. So, I think she would have had a chance to do a bit of practice here. Being a local Adelaide girl, she's probably been out here a few times in real life as well, from Prospect. But, looking forward again to seeing what she can produce.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward as well what Ellie Gardner can produce tonight too. She's had some she's had a lot of shining performances in her time here in the league. A couple of performances that she would agree were less than optimal last season. That probably cost her in the end of a proper challenge for the championship. She's been putting in a lot of time this season to get a lot of practice in and get up to speed in this car. And I think she is beginning to reap those benefits. Hopefully tonight, which she would have done a lot of practice across the weekend as well, that's then going to pay off for her too. She's yet to get a lap time in qualifying. She's out for her first run now, although running it wide at the halfway around the circuit's not going to help her get up to speed. I'll also be interested to see what Harry Dodds can do. Of course, he was away last week with a power outage as well. Shannon Fever too. Aaron Smith, this guy, Brenton, who joined us last season in round 4 at Thruxton, had a horrific race, caught a heap of license points. It wasn't until, I think, earlier this season, he hadn't actually gotten a license point to that point. He's just been struggling to get pace and dealing with being lapped. That's been his biggest issue. But he's been improving his racecraft, and he's definitely a learning driver. But I think he's someone who was just hoping to get better and better. We've also got a debutant tonight of Oliver Patterson as well, formerly of Vermilion Esports. So looking forward to seeing what Oliver can do on the track tonight as well. Son of Shane Patterson out of the Vets. So I'll be interested to see what Oliver can do out on track in his first outing here in the league as well. But I mean, there's a couple names out there that we could keep an eye on. How well can Daniel Yeaman do tonight? I know he's been getting caught in a couple of incidents last week as well. He even admitted that some of those moves were less than optimal from him, so he'd be hoping to try and improve upon those as well. See what Jared McLeod can do tonight. Damien Cairns, he's had the reap of bad luck, hasn't he, the last few weeks? Is it bad luck?
So Damien, another good Vets driver, very good Vets driver, but I'm not sure it's bad luck. I think we've been a bit nice there. He's made some mistakes. He's made a lot of mistakes. And I would say most of it from his own doing. He's shown good pace here. He's shown reasonably good consistency, he's just got to knock these mistakes out. And once he knocks the mistakes out, he'll be a constant top 10 driver. But he's just got to get rid of those mistakes. And I'm sure he will. He's certainly got the ability to.
I think so. I think it's just getting himself out of this rut of either bad luck or mistakes that's being made. I think that's the toughest challenge to him at the moment. OC and Colangelo up into the top 5 now, 150.444, and a great lap time. Couple of tenths off the back of Ryan Mueller of Pacific Esports Racing as well. So there'll be, if these guys and girls can stay up within the top 5, your Colby Warrens, your Ryan Muellers, your Ocean Colangelos, even Angus Lawford, if these guys can stay up around the top 5 or top 6, I'll be interested to see what they can all do together tonight and how well they can battle together on track as well. If Ocean can get a quality start in, she will put a challenge in for the podium tonight. I have no doubts about it. Ryan, if he can start that high up the field, will also put the challenge in for the podium as well. So it's not going to be as easy for current pole sitter Sam Muir if he does finish there in qualifying, because he's going to have Matt Bowler on his heels, who'll be hungry to get his first win of the season. He'll have Colby Warren, who'll want to take back the lead of the championship after losing it last week at Winton. And then he'll also have Ryan Mueller and Ocean Colangelo, who'll be hoping to prove themselves here tonight.
So what I've already noticed is that Sam Muir's first flying lap was also his quickest flying lap, whereas everybody else, and I mean everybody else, has been improving as the session has gone on. So that tells me a couple of things. Number one, those that are ever improving, a lot of them are probably still using this as a practice session. They might not have had a lot of track time. But number two is that the weather now is what track temps at 20 degrees, it's overcast at 19. Just wondering whether as the track rubbers up, as the track might be cooling down, there's some people out there that are making the most of this. And here I am just giving the commentators curse. Sam Muir's just gone faster that very lap. So a 150 flat for Sam, just a tenth up on Matty Bowler, and pretty much, all very close. Colby Warren, Ryan Mueller, and Ocean Colangelo, are your top 5. So Hayden Veld is down in P28 at the moment. That's a surprise. Again, though, I know he had a pretty busy weekend away. So he would have been doing some mountain biking, no doubt, so he wouldn't have done a lot of lap time. And Lockie Capel, P9, who we're on board with right now in the car 018. Now, this is a guy who is seriously quick. Has, on occasion, in the V8 Pro Series, has out-qualified teammates like Ethan Griggold and Job Stewart. Has put in exceptional some performances. Falls away on occasion, gets a little bit flustered sometimes on occasion, but when he gets the lap together, he nails it. So, a very good driver.
As he crosses the line, he sets up again now for another flying lap. Brenton, if there was anyone who was going to get Ocean's name correct, I would have hoped it would have been you out of the two of us.
No. I was too busy reading something else that actually started with a COL as well.
This is what happens when you try and multitask. It doesn't work.
I was multitasking, yes. Someone sent me a message from Motorsport Australia and I was reading that.
You mentioned Hayden Veld. He's obviously listening. He's gone to P14 on that lap with a 150.97, so he's now into his strides here in qualifying. So we've got a couple of chats out there already. Jaden Wilcox joining us, Brendan Griffiths from Project 36, Grandma Lee, and Tiff Platt as well, giving their love to everyone racing out there tonight. Tiff giving the love to Shannon Fever at the moment, who's currently sitting in P16 and has really been working hard to get better and better. In fact, he's almost racing in a... I'm trying to think which driver it is now. It's the Kiwi driver who races for Cadillac now and used to race for Porsche. Oh my god.
You're on your own there.
I know. I'm having to, you know what, now I'm going to have to do a Google. It starts with E.
Definitely on your own.
Yep.
Yeah. Not something I don't follow any Cadillac series, I'll be honest with you.
I'll figure it out. We will figure
it out. But in the meantime, we're down to our last minute of qualifying. Sam Muir, who has been very competitive every week. Look, if there was no such person as Job Stewart, Sam Muir would have won his handful of races by now. I think he's in for a hard time tonight. I do. I think I think Matty Bowler will be the favourite tonight, and he's going to have some help. Hayden Veld now up to P8. So there's your help right there. I think Matty, who has now correct me if I'm wrong here. It looks like an engine's gone. You don't see that very often.
Yeah.
I think Matty, who's been a previous champion in the Porsches, I'm very sure he has actually. He's a good driver in this unit. He really is, and I think he will show his experience tonight, and he will be my pick for the win.
Oh, I think that's a very good shout. It was Earl Bamber that I was thinking of. Shannon very remnant of Earl Bamber's Bathurst 12-hour Porsche that he had quite a few years ago with the silver fern on the side of it. I think Sam's showing he's got good pace. If Matty can go with him, it'll be a tough challenge. All three of Muir, Bowler and Warren are all showing very similar pace at the front of the field. So if all three of them can stay together, maybe get into the groove as qualifying comes to an end, just to hang out for the first 40 or so minutes, get into their last pit stop towards the end of the race, it'll be quite an enticing battle towards the end of this one. If any of them break away, I think it's then going to be tough for them to come back at them and chase them back down without a safety car. So if Sam gets away well in the first 10 minutes and starts to break out above a second or so, that's going to be tough. Jade in the chat saying no Ben, Daniel or Corey. Wow, well, Daniel's been away for the last couple of weeks. Ben Pedersen raced last week with his new brake pedal. He's away this week, and we haven't heard from Corey Lazarus since he's been away with the family the last few weeks as well. So hopefully we can see those guys back before the end of this season. Hopefully they can come into next season for a full challenge as well. So Sam Muir currently sits provisional pole as qualifying comes to an end. Hayden Veld ends out his run into P5 in the end, a 150.28. Daniel Yeaman up to P10 now for Orbit Drop Bear Motorsport. Lachlan Capel just pips Ellie Gardner for P11 in the end. Simon Mazzomo, the defending champion, starting out of P13. And we've seen all season, hasn't been the strongest qualifier, but has made up for it in the race. Don't be surprised if by the end of this one, he's up and around the top 5 as he comes across the line to end his qualifying. He goes to P11, so that's a bit better than where he was. Jared McLeod, P18 at the moment. We'll see how well he does off this final run. Whether this is actually his final qualifying run or not, I don't think it is. I think he's actually coming back around to pit lane, but regardless. Rodney Golan and Blake Fitzpatrick as well, just waiting to finish out their qualifying too. But none of these drivers looking like they're going to challenge Sam Muir for that pole position, or possibly any of the top 10, seeing as Mez's time was his last. Same for Capel. And then, McLeod just looks to be cruising at the moment. So it looks to be all tied up at this stage, heading in towards our 60-minute race here tonight. So it's going to be a long race for us. It's our longest race format of the season, although we normally only race for an hour of total race time on any event here, but it is the longest single race we have all season in terms of on-track time. The next one after this will be out at Interlagos later in the season, so that will be a hot affair as well. Let's see how these drivers deal with it. We're in for a twilight race tonight, though. Brenton will be ending it right before sundown, so we'll see if it's sundown on anyone's series or if it's opportunity to gain some good points over the current championship leader, who's away this week and looks to return next week for Bathurst. As the race gridding begins, the starting grid is as follows. Sam Muir starts pole position tonight. Had a Matt Bowler on the front row of the grid. Colby Warren will then start alongside Ryan Mueller in P4 in behind them. Hayden Veld, Ocean Colangelo makes up a full Evolution Racing team, third row of the grid, with Angus Lawford and Damien Cairns in behind them. Alan Dawson, Daniel Yeaman then make up the top 10 with Simon Mazzomo and Lachlan Capel for the top 12 here this evening. As we move back to Ellie Gardner and Stacey Boyd ahead of Kurt Chapman and Harry Dodds for the top 16. Shannon Fever and Jared McLeod will then start ahead of Marcus Cook and John Akers for the top 20. Steve Tonkin and Martin Lofthouse will then make up the top 22 with Alex Schuller and Craig Schultz for our top 24 of the grid this evening, with Paul Wilson and Rodney Golan starting in behind them. Blake Fitzpatrick, Ernie Toth, Oliver Patterson and Gary Watson make up the top 30 with Johnny Rowe, Aaron Smith and Tim Nicol not setting a time in qualifying, starting at the back of the field. Our race controllers here this evening, once again, Leith McClement, Jordan Ferguson, Kyle Gretsch, Lucas Boyd in the safety car, and Jack Anderson as well. But it's going to be a hot night of racing for them here tonight, Brenton, and I'm excited because I've been so excited when we heard the Bend was coming.
Yeah,
and
really.
It's been the one round that I've probably been looking forward to the most in the first half of the season.
Yeah,
and I'm really excited.
Yeah, fair call. Me too. 60-minute race here. And look, this race might benefit from Job not being here. Job would be seriously quick. He's done a lot of laps in real life as well. But I think the race is going to benefit from Job not being, because it's very, very close at the front. Cars aren't going to make it on fuel. We know there's going to have to be a pit stop. So looking forward to seeing what Ryan Mueller can bring to us tonight as well. P4 on the grid, which is a fantastic effort. Hasn't really shown his true pace, I don't think. I still think he's got quite a bit of development to go, and I reckon starting tonight he's going to show us what he can really do.
Yeah, well, we'll see how well these drivers can do off the start-finish line. We're just waiting for Colby Warren, Blake Fitzpatrick, and Oliver Pattinson to join the grid as well. As we said, rough estimates around about 32 to 35 laps of full green running tonight for 60 minutes of racing. We should average around about 150 151 to 152s. For the average lap times across the whole race tonight as well. Limited fuel on offer, so drivers will be forced to take pit stops in this race. There's no opportunity for them to save enough fuel to make it to the end unless we get maybe 10 safety cars, and I don't think that's going to happen, if I'm honest with you. It's not only is it a wide enough track that wouldn't happen, it would be ridiculous to get 10 safety cars before the first pit stop in this race. So it's not very likely to happen. Oliver Pattinson, though, has missed the starting grid, and everyone else will be starting on the main straight. Lights up for them at Tailem Bend for round 5 of the season, and we are underway. It's a good start from the front runners. It's a big scramble towards the mid-pack of the field as the cars start to run their way down towards turn number 1. And Bowler is already dropping positions here behind Veld and Warren into turn 1. Here they come. Colby Warren inside of Sam Muir. Looks to take the lead early. Can't quite get the run through as they then run up towards 2 and 3. As cars are already going round down at turn 1. Paul Wilson's had a minor off track as well. We'll have a check-in on those at the end of lap 1, but Sam Muir's gotten away well. Warren as well. And Bowler has to tuck in behind with his teammate Veld chasing him down.
Yeah, we've got a bit of an issue here with car 89. John Akers at the back, obviously involved, and Bowler already making a move. Is he going to hold that into P2? So drop the spot. So Matty Bowler's settled into P2. Good start by Sam Muir. Very, very clean start. And also a pretty good start by Hayden Veld there for a while there. It looked like he might be able to chop them all, but nice steady start at the front. Everyone seems to be maintaining position. Looking at Ocean's start at P6. Is in P6, so that's already a step forward.
Improvement.
Simon Mazzomo has dropped the spot down to P12. Lockie Capel, Ellie Gardner, and Daniel Yeaman all up 2 spots. Craig Schultz up 7. There's some drama there.
That looks like maybe contact between teammates down there, the JWM entries. We're going to have a lot to go through at the end of lap 1. It'll probably take us all of lap 2 to run through all of them. If I'm honest with you, and that's at a nearly 2-minute lap time as well. As we run up and around towards the final couple of corners, though, Sam Muir will lead Matt Bowler down towards the start-finish line. Colby Warren, Hayden Veld in behind them as well. Let's quickly have a look back at the race start here, just to suss up what happened off the start line for a couple of drivers down at turn 1 and in towards turn 2 as well. So, of course, Muir got away nicely. And as they kind of went away, there was just a bit of biffing and barging in behind as drivers kind of got themselves sorted.
4 or 5 wide back there. So, but yeah, a lot of desperation. That's where someone's dropped back right. Is that Damien Cairns?
Yeah, I think it might be Damien Cairns.
Yeah, it looks like he's got right out of that. And let's just see what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Angus?
I think that might have been John Akers who got spun round at 1.
Yeah, John Akers got spun around. Just wondering who's tagged him there. Not sure who that was. Probably shouldn't. I'm not going to go point fingers. It looked like Angus Lawford's car. If not, it'll be a teammate of. But look, up the front in the meantime, this race is actually already closing right up. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Lockie Capel is on my screen has gone up, made some significant ground. So there seems to be a bit of a drama.
Yeah, I've noticed that OC and Colangelo, Angus Lawford have also had contact as well. This was then further round 2 on lap 1. Alan Dawson just having a minor off track there, so a couple of drivers having to take evasive action. Shannon Fever also being involved in an incident as well, so we'll quickly try and run through these as quickly as possible.
And we've also had a change in the lead as well whilst we're doing that.
Yep, Bowler and
now
Muir
we
are
might have
battling
another
away.
change in the lead.
They
Yep,
may
so
do.
Matty's got his job done, so Bowler is through. And he's just going to get better every lap. So the emphasis now...
Oh my God, it was the teammates killing each other. Sorry to interrupt you, Brendan. Wow.
No. You got it. That's going to go down real well. Especially because they actually weren't in a bad spot.
No,
so.
I don't think Brad Hudson's going to be happy about that, the team boss. Oh my God, Gardner just blew up down there, and then Mez ended up having a spin as well. So we said that Mez was going to be under the gun, and I tell you what, he's right in the firing line at the moment. He has not had a good start, not at all. In the meantime, Pete up the lead. There's a really good battle. So Matty Bowlers looks like he's just stretching his legs a little bit. Sam Muir driving fairly defensive here, it must be said. And we've also got a good battle with Colby Warren, Hayden Veld, and Ryan Mueller, who's just comfortably sitting in the background there, letting the others do the work. See, he could save some fuel here. He could be saving his tyres. Not so sure at this stage he needs to. But at the moment, Matty Bowler's looking fairly comfortable. Really interested to see how Dan Yeaman's going to go. He's actually been unleashed. He's up to P6 now. He should have the natural pace. With his experience, he should have the natural pace to drag Lockie Caper and Ocean up with him. Yeah, I think for Dan and Lockie and Ocean, they'll be smart enough here. Tuck onto the back of him, let him drag you forward. It could really open up the battle with Ryan Mueller when they end up catching up to the back of him as well. But yeah, rough start for some drivers, as Elliot's just said in the chat, especially for Ellie Gardner, who blew up down, I think it was turn 5, and then Mazzomo having a sympathy spin on the exit as well, so a tough night on the road for them already. But plenty of time for them to get back into the swing of things. Fuel save could be big tonight though, Brenton, of course. If you can save fuel, it then obviously helps you in the pit stop, because you will need roughly, if you could save enough, you could get a one stop in, but it's whether you can match the lap pace whilst fuel saving. We may see a two-stop strategy on offer by some drivers as well. With a safety car, you probably only need a one stop to get it home, so that will be the definition for these drivers in terms of trying to figure it out. There are battles happening all throughout the field though. This top 5 pack are separated by roughly 2 seconds. In behind them, we've then got this huge train from Daniel Yeaman back. This is where the battle's happening, as Kurt Chapman's into pit lane. I think that might be a penalty for the contact on that one with John Akers.
Yep, that's a penalty.
Yep.
And Johnny Rowe also will have a drive-through penalty for contact with the car 8. So, Paul Wilson's got tagged there.
Yep.
But you're right. This is where the battle is now. So last lap times on board here. Dan Yeaman's last lap time, a 51.9 in front of him, and we were thinking that maybe he could catch up the pack in front. Ryan Mueller's last time, a 51.3, so 0.6 of a lap difference there. So the pack in front is drawing away. Matty Bowler, the fastest lap last lap, at 50.5, so that's a significant gain on all those. Like Sam Muir's a 51 flat, and then below those is 51.5, 6s and 3s. Going down though, there's a good battle as also with Ocean here and Angus Lawford. This is what they don't want to do. They do not want to start battling. They want to start, even though they're in different teams, and Angus might have this thought that he might be quicker than Ocean, they need to find a way of drawing back up to Lockie Capel and using the draft. Already that lead for Lockie's over a second. They might lose the draft. They do not want to be doing that. So Angus doesn't want to be sticking his nose in here and there. It's just going to slow them all down. We're at 52.5 minutes still to go at the moment. Think long term.
Yeah, you got to think long term. As Corey Lazarus is joining us in the chat, giving the love to Colby Warren. Hope we can see you back out on track soon this season, Corey. We're missing you out on track at this point. Could have been a solid win this week for Corey with Job away. But I think, Matty, he had good pace, so did Sam. I don't think it would have been overly easy for Corey to actually get the win this week in that scenario, because this top 5 is showing great paces. Veld up the inside at 1 on Colby Warren. He'll get the inside then at turn 3. Takes the position to get it onto the podium.
Yeah, good move.
Mueller wants to follow him through as well. I'm very impressed by Ryan Mueller tonight. Now, I am aware there is the asterisk of he may also have a lot of track experience here in terms of running officials. Obviously, he's a big fan of Australian tracks, as Ryan. He's very likely done a lot of races here across the officials this season. We're only really going to get a good idea of his true pace in this car actually, probably not until Okayama, because next week at Bathurst, I know he's got a heap of laps there, so he'll be fast there as well. We'll really get an idea for it towards the end of the season out at Okayama, into Lagos, Long Beach, and then Belle Isle as well if he runs all those rounds. He has set the fast lap of the race, though, 150.46. So the Pacific Esports racing car has got some major pace on board, and he is proving that at the moment in spades by turning on the jets. So we'll see how well Ryan can do tonight. He is a challenger for the podium at the moment, though, I think we can confidently say.
Yeah, absolutely. So is Hayden Veld. So really, really classy move into turn 1 by Hayden to get himself up into P3. Started P5, and I thought he actually struggled in quali to start with, became good with the last couple of laps.
He felt challenged
but
by
also,
you, that's why.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. Well, I think some of the boys are out there actually are listening, so g'day to all. But the biggest gainer so far is Blake Fitzpatrick. Now, the car 686, he was good last week. He was good last week at Winton, I thought.
He was very aggressive, but he was good. He drove very well.
I thought he did. And already tonight, he's gone up 12 positions, so up to P15 from P27. His fastest lap of 151.658 was his last lap, but his fastest lap was he just goes across the strike now, 52.2. But again, he's gone up another spot, so he's actually gained 13 positions now. So really, really solid effort. And in front of Simon Zomo, he's having an absolute mare.
Also can confirm as well, Aaron Smith has now caught a drive-through penalty for an unsafe rejoin early in the race.
Yeah.
And to give the update on Oliver Patterson, why he started from pit lane, he actually had an impeding and qualifying penalty, so that's why he started from the lane tonight, not in his qualifying position. Of course, he was allowed to continue qualifying once he got the penalty, but he just always had to start from pit lane after that penalty was applied to him. Dan Yeaman in pits for a very early stop, so maybe offsetting the pit stop a little bit here, trying to go for a two-stopper, it seems.
Yeah, I can't see any logic in this move. These cars run a lot better when they're light, and he had good track position. He wasn't being impeded by anyone. Now, I don't know. I didn't see whether he took tyres or not. Wouldn't have a clue. But these cars run healthier when they're lighter. I don't think it's a good move. I think the guys up the front, and the two guys at the front, Matty Bowler and Sam Muir, actually started to draw away from Hayden Veld, but I think this is a mistake. I might be proven wrong later on, but I don't like the move.
Yeah, I think it's a bit off-brand. It's a bit of a dice roll. We'll see how it plays out. Matty Bowler will cross the start-finish line to start out lap 8 of this race. Oh no, it's going to claim lap 7. Okay, I'm lying then apparently. Fastest lap of the race though for Sam Muir, 150.25. Yep. So some proper pace. Oh, he had issues apparently. Did Dan, so that's unfortunate. Hopefully that sorted the issues out.
Makes sense.
Sam Muir's really turned the jets back on now. Probably got these tyres back down to temp. They may have been scrubbed up or overheated a little bit through the battle with Matt Bowler when he went for the lead. So Sam's now just starting to get back into his groove. Hayden Veld, 2.4 seconds back, has dropped a little bit of pace to those guys now. He has still got Colby Warren and Ryan Mueller hot on his heels, and Lachlan Capel is chasing them down. He outlapped all of them by around about 8 tenths to a second the last lap, so he'll look to get involved in this. OC and Colangelo as well. We'll hope to follow her ERT teammate up there. Angus Lawford, Alan Dawson, though, hot on her heels as well. Shannon Fever's off the road in the Silver Fern entry down at the S's, it seems, just before the long right-hander. I'm not sure if
he's not moving.
Yeah, that looks like has he collided with the wall?
Yeah, well, this could be a safety car.
It could be.
I think this will be a safety car.
Yeah, oh my God!
No, there's more to it than that.
Yeah,
that's not the hardest hit. Whether there was a problem here or not. Actually, hang on, I've got even reverse.
So he's got broken steering. So he's got broken steering. So let's have a look here. So he comes down through one, inside of, I think that was Ernie Toth. Toth then found a jump on the curb, and it's just launched the car and destroyed the front.
Has he got any steering at all? He's got some steering.
He's got some. The suspension's broken. Like the wheel is actually dislodged.
Yeah. It doesn't look good, does it?
No.
No, well, that's cool. So here we go. So safety car's being called. The leader has stayed out. I don't know if this is a great move.
Oh my God!
Whoa.
John Akers and Ellie Gardner. We need to have another look at that, actually, because I wasn't concentrating properly. So Gardner goes to the move. They come up over the bump. Oh, John almost moved over a little bit on it. Then another door.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We'll have another look at that if we can go back, because that's not too spectacular there. Not going to point any fingers to see if that was deliberate or not yet. Coming across.
Yeah, from that angle, it almost looked like John moved to the right, unsettled Ellie's car, and it's kind of forced her car back to the left. So,
yeah, not suggesting that's deliberate.
No.
That's deliberate.
Might have just been sucked in from the side draft. So, safety
Yep.
car has been called, as you said. So we have now got the safety car on track.
We're tightening the field up, so that's a good thing. Matty Bowler did not pit. Ryan Mueller did not pit. Ocean did not pit. So the top 5, including up to and including Marcus Cook, did not pit. Sam Muir, Hayden, Ellie Gardner. Actually, Ellie Gardner didn't pit either. The greater majority did pit. Now, the question's going to be, I'm thinking probably about 24 laps to go. Is there going to be, will they make it from fuel here, those cars that did pit? Now, right now, Matty Bowler owes them 11 seconds. So all the cars that stopped took about 10 or 11 seconds worth of fuel. Now, if they all happen to stop at the same time in 10 laps time, where's Matty Bowler going to find that 11 seconds worth of fuel? He's not. So he's got himself under a lot of pressure here. So's Ryan Mueller, so's Ocean and Co. Right now, Matty's best chance, and it's the same with Mueller and Ocean, is that Jared McLeod and Marcus Cook both started P18, P19. Their fastest laps are 153s. So, 151 1s and 151 5. The top 3 in particular are going to be hoping and praying that McLeod and Cook can hold up Muir, Veld, Colby Warren, Lockie Capel, etc. Because they're going to have to work really hard to find these 11 seconds of fuel.
Well, it's either they have to find the 11 seconds of fuel, or they have to hope that one more safety car gets called and they can do it on a one-stop, and that the cars behind them risk their one stop to get home. I think those cars are pitted now. They've pitted too early for 2 safety cars to give them a one stop. They're probably about 5 minutes too early for that.
Yep.
I think
but it's, each lap of the safety car is taking 4 minutes.
This is true.
At the moment.
Yep.
So there's your time made there. It's a long stop. We're doing 80 k's an hour down the straight.
Actually, you raise a good point. So if we have to be 4 laps under safety car, that gives us 15 minutes, roughly. Yep. So there's your time you need. You've then got a minor fuel save to get home at this point. So the guys at the front will be hoping the safety car comes in this lap, because if it goes another lap or 2, they're all of a sudden going to be on wood for their strategy. It's
Dan Yeaman's come into the pits as well, so hopefully he's had that problem rectified. So this brings him back into it. So that's always a good thing. But these guys right now will be hopefully clutching it and saving what they can. Without too much knowledge now, I don't know how many laps they can do on a tank of fuel. But like I said, I reckon we're down to about 22 laps to go. So whether they can make it one stop from here, or in the case of those who have already stopped, can they make it from here? We're only talking 42 minutes to go. I don't know if this is a great move. And this is the penalty that Matty Bowler's had to pay for being in the lead, because everyone might just react to him. And at the moment, the Muir and the Veld and the Warren car are only P7, 8 and 10. Sorry, 7, 8 and 9. Sorry, I'll do that again. 6, 7 and 9. They don't have to do a lot of work here.
No, and Gardner may be carrying some damage as well off her contact with John Akers, so that may make Colby Warren's job easier. It may also make it harder, because she might be trying to defend and he's having to work really hard to get past the damaged car, if it is carrying damage as well. So I think it's a very interesting scenario we now have for these cars on track. in terms of how are they going to be able to get this car home. For Bowler, you'd have to be max fuel saving at this point just to save any amount of time in pit lane. Because
so is everybody else.
This is true.
Everyone else should be doing exactly the same thing right now. Like, we're not reinventing the wheel. And that's not just in this category, but any category. You've got a safety car, you're going to be saving fuel. Whether they ride the clutch or not, that's up to them. But I would think that the safety car will be in this lap. I haven't heard anything to suggest that, but I don't think there'll be a need for the safety car to just I think Lewis Hamilton said it best only a couple of rounds ago. They really do know how to drag out a race, but the safety car is pulling away from the field now.
You'll be getting ready to go green flag once again here at Tailem Bend for round 5 of the championship. We're guaranteed a new championship leader after tonight, unless any of the top 5 who are around Job Stewart finish outside of the top 10. They then wouldn't gain enough points to beat his current score that he had from the Red Bull ring quite a few rounds ago. In fact, I'll get those exact points up so I can tell you.
Now, let's see when Matty does the restart here. The safety car's about to go in the pits. Now, if Matty wants to be a bit cheeky here, he can hold and hold and hold and go as late as he can, because there's a significant draft down the main straight here, and he would have saved a lot more fuel, but he's decided to go right now.
So it's green flag running once again at Tailem Bend. And Matt Bowler gets us back underway down towards turn 1. 19 minutes, 50 seconds into proceedings. Roughly 40 minutes to go.
So what we need to focus on straight away is the Veld and Muir battle, because these guys will be getting desperate, number 1, to pass each other, and number 2, they need to make a move as quick as they can with McLeod and Cook in front. Already that lead from Bowler back to Veld is 2.8 seconds. The magic number we're looking for, I think, is 11. So closer to 3 seconds already. And if these guys start battling and start getting held up behind McLeod and Cook, that gap...
Oh, Warren and Muir!
We don't need...
Sorry, Colby Warren just made contact with Sam Muir down in towards turn 4 there. So that there's half the 11 seconds that Bowler needs over Sam Muir. And if Colby Warren now cops a penalty, all of a sudden Bowler is battling with his own teammate for the lead in Hayden Veld.
Yeah, and the stewards have also decided that it will actually be Ellie Gardner getting a time penalty for that contact with him. So that's going to be referred to the stewards. The Warren Muir incident absolutely will. And look, we believe Sam will be able to make his way up, but Bowler's already 7 seconds ahead of Muir. So like you said, half of that job's done. And Mueller and Colangelo are actually staying with another car off here.
Yeah, Steve Tonkin. I believe there might have been some contact with Blake Fitzpatrick.
Damage, or no, she seems to be running square.
Wrong time for me needing to have a cough there. Steve Tonkin and Blake Fitzpatrick had a moment, so there was a bit of a
There was also a moment behind Fitzpatrick there. That's murder on the dance floor there.
Very interesting moments happening all over the track. Matty Bowler leads us over the line for lap 11 now, 21 minutes 50 seconds into proceedings.
So let's look at that last lap time. I'm going to cut in there. Sorry. So Matt Bowler's lap time there from the first start, first flying lap after the restart, a 150.8. Now we know that Muir had a problem, a 55.6. So he's already 7.5 seconds off the lead. The other car we need to look out for now is the leader of those cars that took the pit stop, which is Hayden Veld, a 51.3. Colby Warren, a 52.7 involved with incident, may have a penalty incoming. And what we've also got now is Marcus Cook and Hayden Veld battling with each other. So that time for these top 3 is just drawing out. I still don't think they've made the right decision. So the 201's got the penalty. So Colby Warren, as expected, we called it. We'll get the penalty. He's got a drive-through penalty. So Colby, you're out of there.
Yeah, that takes Colby Warren out of contention now for the podium, barring any exuberance happens with the front runners of this race. Top 10 could still be on offer, as he has got pace and at least 45-ish minutes to come back into it throughout this one as well. 35 minutes to get back to it. Martin Lofthouse off the road, so it's been a tough night here for the JWM cars. Yeah, not a night to remember for them. Started with contact between them, as I believe Harry Dodds is also off track as well for Project 36. So cars are flying off left, right, and centre here at this point of the race. I'm unsure. I'm going to chat to Race Control post-race just to get their view of things as to why Ellie caught the penalty for that one. I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't really got a finger in the pie for that one as to why.
So we haven't looked at the steering angle. We didn't take the shot where Ellie's steering was. She could have been hooking right the entire time. Don't know, but the stewards would have taken their time. They could see multiple different angles that we haven't had a look at.
Yep.
I might go on record here and say the stewards are generally right. I might argue a few points in the vets, but generally the stewards are right.
Yeah, I mean, it's and at least for Ellie, it's a time penalty. So if she wishes to go challenge it, it's much easier to challenge and get the penalty taken away or reverted than a drive-through. So it very likely, they probably gave her a time penalty because it was a contentious incident, which means that she can just go and challenge it and then maybe get some clarification as well. So I'm sure she'll go have a chat to them post-race and just either get clarification or try and get it reverted. Because, again, it's a time penalty that's applied post-race. So if she can be successful, it means the 10 seconds won't actually be applied. So we'll see what happens with that post-race. And, of course, the points don't get released until at the earliest Wednesday, so we'll see what happens with that one there as well. At this stage of the race, Matt Bowler leads the way by 0.9 of a second at the moment over Ryan Mueller. At this stage, Marcus Cook has gone off the road down at looks like turn 10 down there. I don't know if there was any contact made. Damien Cairns has also left the circuit as well, further back in the field. Still having a relatively good run tonight. He is currently down 6 positions and under pressure here from Craig Schultz as well.
Probably down those 6 positions because he took a stop and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that were previously behind him haven't stopped. So probably realistically just down to 2. So Colby Warren, after his drive-through, down at P28. So we'll be interested to see what he will have to make up. So just for later on, he's 37.5 seconds off the lead after that drive-through.
And look at that gap already now. Oshie and Colangelo up to P3. We'll see if it was a mistake for OCN, McLeod, Mueller and Bowler not to come into pit lane, or if it could pay off for them. And Cook as well.
Gardner, neither of them came in as well.
Yep. Veld is now already onto the back of Jared McLeod, so he's only 2 positions away now from a podium position. And the gap is only out to 4.8 seconds up to Matt Bowler. So projection, he would be 7 seconds ahead of Bowler if both cars need 2 more pit stops, or another pit stop in this race, I should say. Be a total of a 2-stopper for Veld, a 1-stopper for Bowler. But we'll see how well this pans out for them. With only 4 or 3.5 minutes until the halfway mark of this race, I think we're almost guaranteed Bowler being able to do a 1-stop tonight. It's the asterisk of do the cars who put it on lap 7 need a 1-stopper as well. I feel they're probably going to go as long as possible though, Brenton, just in case they could save enough to get home on the 1-stop. As Ellie Gardner is at an off-track, and just gone round.
Yeah, look, that corner's caught a lot out. Carrying too much pace through there. I'm just going to think, probably got out too wide and just wasn't able to bring it back. Bad mistake really. And it's compounded worse where Ellie didn't take a pit stop either. So there's some more pain coming towards Ellie. Plus, like we said, at 10-second time penalty is Hayden Veld. Looks like he's moving into P4 with a good move. It looks like a pretty signature move for Hayden there, and he's got that job done. So Hayden's last lap, a 150.9 in traffic. He's 5.2 seconds off of the lead from Matt Bowler. So now that Hayden's been released, let's see who's got the pace between them. We're talking about Matty Bowler needing 11 seconds. 11 seconds at the moment will take him to Sam Muir in P8.
Yeah, so to take him right back to he's got it covered to Sam, but he doesn't have it covered to his teammate Hayden Veld, Lachlan Capel or Angus Lawford at this stage. So He needs to try and get a wriggle on him and build up about another 3 seconds just to cover Lawford and Capel in that slot there. Unfortunate for Ellie, tough night on the road for her. So hopefully for her sake, she can go argue her case with race control and maybe get the 10 seconds reversed. If she can prove her case a little bit to them, that will at least ease the pain a little bit of tonight's race for her. But she's a very, very driven racer. Like she wants to get better and wants to do well and races for fun. Hopefully she can continue doing that throughout this season because we love having her on the grid. She's one of the probably most well-loved drivers amongst the field, at least of drivers who raced last season and then continued into this season as well. So hopefully she can continue on throughout the rest of this season as well. Matt Bowler, Ryan Miller, Osi and Colangelo on the podium at this stage, but we're only just about at the halfway point of this race as Bowler is into pit lane. Mueller's followed him. Colangelo's in as well. So Hayden Val will take the race lead. Let's see how long this pit stop is, because that'll tell us where they stand.
So the other cars aren't going to make it. Okay, I'm really confident they're not going to make it now, because these three have, just by coincidence, I don't think so, all pitted at the same time. So I think they're at the end of their fuel limit. We are 30 minutes and 30 seconds to go, so we're not quite halfway. I would think that, they're going to have to fuel save, not forgetting that we had probably a good 7-8 minutes behind a safety car. They're going to have to save some fuel to get to the line here. I do think that all those who did pit the first time will need to pit again, but they wouldn't, because they wouldn't be able to take a full tank, only 11 seconds. So right now we look at Bowler, all of them, 17 seconds stationary. Oh, I wonder if Ryan, did he get
I reckon he's got a stop hold
here.
Yeah, I think he's sped into pit lane.
Yeah, so we would expect that to be 45 seconds, and that's game over for him too. So he's dead in the water.
37 seconds. I reckon maybe. Oh, he might have taken tyres.
Must have.
Yeah.
Which, it's a long way back from there now. But yeah, so Bowler, Ocean, everyone, 17 seconds stationary. Filled it up. It's going to be tight getting it home from here. It's going to be really tight getting it home from here.
It's normally in the 60-minute races. It's normally fuel save your way to a 1-stop. You're guaranteed with a 2-stop, and that's if it goes green the whole way. It's normally guaranteed to be a 2-stopper. So yeah, it's going to be really tight for those guys who've just come in and are trying to commit to a 1-stop. They probably need a safety car just to save enough. McLeod's in the pit lane now, so McLeod proved that you could go to the halfway point of the race, but a bit of fuel saving will be needed. These cars here, everyone who pit on lap 7, they need to try and find 8 seconds worth of fuel, which is roughly 16 litres of fuel for the next part of this race. So they probably need to go a little bit longer before they can fit that into the car to get this car home.
So I reckon that number 11 it's one of your winning lotto ticket numbers. I think those that didn't pit need to find 11 seconds. So straight away, it might even be 11 seconds plus a bit of interest, because these guys were stationary for 17, the others were stationary for 11. So Bowler is he's actually come out behind. McLeod's just going to come out now behind him. And Bowler's also going to have a problem that when he gets there, he's going to have all the traffic. No blue flags are going to be waved. The first car that he'll come up to is Gary Watson, who's probably still just 8.5 to 9 seconds down the road. But he's making significant gains. He's 3-4 seconds a lap faster. Once he gets there, I can't see it. It'll be a pretty quick death. I think he'll get past him pretty quickly. But it's just something else he needs to think about.
It's also Colby Warren's going to be the tough task, because Colby will race him for it, and Colby's got the similar pace to Matty. So
the other thing is that Colby, he might not get to Colby. That's the thing, because they are a similar pace.
Yeah.
Colby's 9 seconds down the road, so Matty might not even get to Colby's. I'm not overly worried about that unless Colby trips over. But Colby could get caught if he gets stuck, because Colby's making gains on Harry Dodds, Martin Lofthouse, Stephen Compton. So that could all compound and compress. That's the only way I think Matty will get to where Colby is, which, it could happen. But if it's all an even playing field, Bowler won't get to Warren. But we all know that Warren will have to do another lengthy pit
Yeah, he will, of at least 8 seconds. It seems as well Harry Dodds has also taken tyres on his stop back on lap 7 as Gary Watson has just traversed it off the road into the sand traps. That'll make Matt Bowler's job a little bit easier in getting past him.
If he can get to him here, which he will get around him straight away. No, he won't. Yes, he will.
Yeah, he will. I thought Gary was going to turn on him, and then I think he just realised last moment he was there.
Yep. There's a bit of late realisation that there was a car there. So looking at Matty Bowler's lap now, after he's taken fuel, a 150.8. So, you know, he's making gains, but like I said, the gap up front with Hayden and Lockie Capel, and then Angus Lawford, who's fallen away a little bit. And Sam Muir's the other one. Last lap was actually the fastest on the track, a 50.3, if you don't mind. That's a very, very good lap.
It's a very good lap. We've also had confirmation from Brendan Griffiths of Project 36. Those cars will need to come back down pit lane. So that says to me everyone's going to have to come back down pit lane. So that does kind of ease out the strategy queries at this stage. Even with a safety car, I still think they need a splash. I don't think they could even save enough with another safety car to get home, other than the drivers who managed to make it to the halfway point of the race.
Well, that's what we're saying. So the Bowlers and the Colangelos and the McLeods and that, they only made it to halfway, and there was a safety car. So as soon as we saw them with 30 minutes and 30 seconds to go, pitting, we know that there's a bit of a drama for them to get home unless it's a safety car. We also know that the others who did take the early splash for 11 seconds, we know that they absolutely have to stop again, but I still think they are holding the whip hand at the moment.
Yeah, I think, well, we're just past the halfway point of this race, about 25 seconds, 25 seconds, wow, that went by quick. 25 minutes left to go in this one. Look at the Riot Sim Racing cars, just all in a tandem together. Paul Wilson, John Akers, Rodney Golan, all having a good old time. And Dan Yeaman right now, well, he's seeing a Riot right in front of him, and he'll wish that he had the Riot squad just trying to help him get past. But it's quite interesting when a whole heap of teammates who've got their matching liveries all end up on track together.
Yeah, well, Dan Yeaman must be feeling like an ice agent in Los Angeles right now because there's a Riot everywhere. But he's slowly making a bit of drama in front of him. And that will make life easy for him. And I really hope that Dan can work his way up here because you don't like seeing any driver having hardware issues or something like that. So that safety car certainly did him a big favour. And this is a guy who can drive these things. He's a quick unit on his day, got a good team behind him, and he's slowly progressing back. He would have had a very, very boring night if that safety car didn't come out.
Oh yeah, it's definitely reignited his night on the road here on board the Orbit Drop Bear Porsche Cup car. Now with Lockhart Brownlee out of the series, and we haven't seen Connor Nixon in a little while, he's the sole runner at this stage for that team. So hopefully we can see at least Connor back, so then Daniel does have a teammate out there. Good to see, though, the admin of AOG out and running in this car. I know that they're looking at running the IndyCar series again in future. I don't think there's any plans for the Porsche Cup series to come back, so that means that we kind of get to take on the moniker of at least the premier focused on Porsche Cup Series. I know the GSRC run Porsches, but it's not their only thing that they run, of course. They run a whole gaggle of series over there, including great series, like the Porsche Cups, like the Supercars, the Gen 4 NASCARs, as well as SFLs, which gives them the opportunity to race amongst the Australian Open Wheel Nationals with SRW, and next season with FDL involved in that series too. So that event's becoming bigger and bigger as well. And there's whispers and discussions in the background, Brenton, that there may be some Porsche action in the future around about the Pro Series in some form or fashion, isn't there?
100%.
So
no, don't want to make a secret of it.
No.
So it's going to be like for the Australian Sim Racing League group, it's going to be a huge week, October, where we're going to be having the Bathurst 1000, the co-driver race on the Wednesday night, the final round of the Gamesman GT Pro Series, so on Friday night at Bathurst. But on the Saturday night, the support race will be, plan is to have the Porsches, these very Porsches here in front of you. running on the Saturday night. I'm very, very much looking forward to that.
And we're hoping as well that we can run that as a adjusted day, as a regular round for the season too. So then we just say to the drivers, do we know the exact weekend that would be taking place, Brendan? Just so I can.
Absolutely, we do. Let me start. Let me go to my.
Because,
dates,
I was planning a bye round for the last weekend of October, first weekend of November, because I have a wedding to attend on the 31st of October. So it was going to mean that I was going to have to miss out on our Rodnock Cup Series broadcast that Friday as Cairns Boyd Chapman all in the pit lane. So second pit stop's coming their way as well. Mev Bushwhacker Shorts in the chat as well. Jamie ain't here. Adelaide, I used to live there. Well, the Bend is around about 2.5 odd hours away, or 2 hours away from Adelaide, but is in SA, of course. So we're not too far away from Adelaide. It'll be very, very soon. We have the Adelaide Street Circuit and iRacing as well. I think current projected time of arrival is season 4 of this year, possibly first 2 seasons of next year. Well, I'm thinking of how quick they got the Bend out, but then there's also thought of they might wait until the 500 to just get some little, maybe just to freshen up the scan a little bit. So, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Maybe season. Actually, no. I know that season 4 is Mexico City and Miami. They did confirm that that's currently on the roadmap for season 4. So it might be season 1 or 2 of 2026 that we get Adelaide.
I think Mexico would suit these cars to a T.
It would. It would.
So, looking at that date for your Bathurst Enduro, it would be the Saturday night of the 22nd of November.
Well, that works very well for us here, because that would roughly be nearly the final round. It would probably be the third last round of the season, I think, because I think week 1 of season 1 is second week of December, I think. So we can definitely plan around it. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, but late November works for us, because that's when our other admin Jack is back from the UK. That also means that we can plan our special events in October. I was hoping for the first weekend of November, so we can plan around that very easily as well, and just have the Saturday or the Sunday as the event for that one, and still have our bye week. And it means we just have an extra round running on the Saturday, and just give them an extra drop round in case they can't race. So that's probably how we'll try and market that. So yeah, you can look forward to it. The Gamesman GT Pro Series for the final round of Bathurst. The VRS Porsche Cup Series will be a part of that weekend as a support category out there. So you'll get Bathurst 2 seasons in a row from us. You get it next week as a rush round. And
the Bathurst 1000 for the supercars on the Sunday.
Exactly.
So it's a huge week.
Oh yeah, massive week for Bathurst and for Australian sim racing as well. It'll be a massive event for us next season as well. Currently projected to win the pole for the next series is the GTE series. So, we'll probably line up our Wednesday event to have Bathurst as well for our GTE series. So you'll probably get, what would it be, 4 or 5 days in a row, Brenton, of Bathurst, because I'm sure the vets will run Bathurst that weekend as well.
On the Wednesday night of that week, we have a co-driver race at Bathurst. So all the co-drivers for the Bathurst 1000, they run in their own singular race on the Wednesday night. And the winner of that gets automatic entry into the Pro Series for 2026. So that's a big night as well. So it's a lot going on that week. A lot going on. As we got our pitters here. We got Veld and Capel in.
Lawford and Muir in as well. Mez in too.
As well. Yeah, so this is the limit of fuel. This is just going to be a splash. So it's a matter of where Matty Bowler can get through, if they can get through it, or another car's gone off
it's
here.
Paul Wilson down there of Riot Sim Sports.
Had a bit of a mare tonight.
Yep.
So it's going to be a very short stop, I would think, for these guys. Dan Yeaman kept on going through. He has, yes. So interesting to see. This is where it's at. And the question now is, can Bowler make it all the way home from here? So Veld's still in the pits as Bowler goes through.
I think Veld's
got a penalty.
I think he's either got a penalty. He's either got a penalty or he's taken tyres.
Yep. So he cooked. Yeah, you don't want to be taking tyres.
No, it's a penalty. You got a speeding. Yeah, you got either an unsafe entry or a speeding in pit lane penalty. So
yeah, you
that
don't need to be doing that when you're in the lead. And that's 45 seconds you do not get back.
No, and he's still there, so I think he's realised what he's done, and that's probably not over for Hayden Veld. Oh, no, he's back out again. Back out again, 53 seconds.
So, heavy advantage here to Lockie Capel and Ocean. Heavy advantage. So Sam Muir is right on the tail of Ocean at the moment.
So they've taken a total of roughly 24 seconds of fuel across the race. That says to me Bowler's going to need a pit again, and he's going to need 7 seconds worth of fuel. So he's got to find 7 seconds, well, actually more than 7 seconds.
There's traversing the pit lane as well, so he's cooked.
Yep.
So traversing the pit lane is taking, I'm going to work out currently.
It'll be about 40 seconds. Yeah.
It's about 32 seconds to traverse the pit lane.
Plus the stop as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So 32 seconds into traverse pit lane, you'll lose. Yeah, well, that's right, plus the stop. He ain't getting that.
No.
The hope and pray for Bowler was that the others would have to take a longer second stop, or alternatively, can Bowler make it? That's the question that also might need to be asked.
That's a big fuel save for that to happen. Tonkin's in as well at this point. Yeaman's kept going actually, so he's lapping up, leading the race at the moment. Well, the benefit for you is, Brenton, projected you still have a race winner on your hands. It's just not Matt Bowler. It's currently Lachlan Capel who leads the way. Sam Muir, luckily for him, is still on the projected podium. Angus Lawford, breakout performance for him tonight as well. He's up and around the podium too. And then Simon Mazzomo, through strategy and consistency, had that moment earlier on. Up 4 at the moment, projected to be P4 come the end of the pit stop cycle.
Yeah, good fight back by Simon for sure. So, interested in the Yeaman because he's done 15 laps on this set. He pitted the second lap of the safety car, I think it was. I don't think it was the first lap of the safety car. Interested to see how long he can run on those for. But it's going to be... Yeah, I can't see Bowler making it. But by saying that, McLeod did go that extra lap. He got to the 28-minute mark. 28 minutes to go. But again, there was that safety car interference.
Marcus Cook has had a minor spin down through turn 1. Had to check in on it, just make sure it wasn't anything untoward. And he looked like he came up okay through that one there. We've got a battle happening back here with Craig Schultz and Alex Schuler at the moment. They're trying to chase down Ryan Mueller, who's just outside the top 10 at this stage. So drivers having good battles here throughout the field. Ellie Gardner, Rodney Golan, and John Akers all having a battle at this stage. Hopefully for Ellie and John, they don't make contact again like they did earlier in the race. As Daniel Yeaman is now into pit lane. When does Matt Bowler come in and commit to that final stop to get it home? We've got under 15 minutes left in this race as well.
Ooh.
So we're getting into the final stage.
So, Yeaman's gone to lap 16 when he's pitted. Yes, so let's take a couple laps off with the safety car. Yeah, Matty Bowler right now is on lap 9 of this stint. There's 13 and a half minutes to go. Let's add another 5 laps, 10 minutes, under 10 minutes. He ain't making it.
No.
He's close, but he ain't close enough.
No, and it'll be a very short splash. Might get him a top 10, maybe.
Well, no.
Yeaman's just come out in P10. So he'll and Matty will need a much shorter stop.
Yeaman was in front of... No, it won't be that much shorter. There will be a splash, but Yeaman was quite a bit up the road.
Oh, yeah, true.
Matty, I think.
Yeah.
So, well, look, we'll work it out.
We will.
Make sure you turn your tyres off. So, Yeaman's stop was that. There you go, magical number, 11 seconds. It's just going to come back and bite us all day. Lockie Capel is looking very, very handy here. And Ocean, who has not had a podium yet.
But she also needs a pit stop there, like Matt Bowler.
Yep, sorry.
She's in the same boat.
Me. Yep, you're exactly right. Damn, I was getting half excited.
The ERT. What color would it be? The Logitech blue that would best describe your team, Brenton, the ERT blue mist was getting in the eyes of the blue tinted glasses was like, oh, triple podium.
Well, I was just excited for Ocean as well. It would have been fantastic. But again, she's driven well.
She has. She's driven very well.
If I wasn't doing my commentary duties tonight, I probably would have been helping them out with strategy, and I would have been screaming at them to all pit. But woulda, coulda, shoulda, didn't. Sam Muir has looking very, very handy for another spot on the podium.
He is, and it would be good enough to give him the lead of the championship. Jared McLeod just traversing it off track as well. So got around about 11 minutes left in this race, so not long left to go now. When does Matt Bowler pit and give this man, Lachlan Capel, the lead of the race? Only time will tell. We're going to take this quick moment, though, just to give thanks to our series sponsor, VRS, for having a quick ad break here. We'll be back very, very shortly for the final run home. The final 10 minutes to come your way very shortly. Big thank you to VRS Virtual Racing School. Back very soon after these short messages.
These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. A massive shout out to VRS Virtual Racing School for being the title sponsor of the VRS Porsche Cup Series as well. You find them directly linked in the description below if you want to go check out some of the products they offer or some of the subscriptions they offer as well. There's already a multitude of drivers this season who've earned themselves competitive subscriptions for VRS by finishing on the round podium as well. Those prizes will be going out to them very, very shortly too. Job Stewart's racked up a heap of them at this stage. I'm sure he'll probably share them amongst ERT. To some of his teammates, maybe just to help them get a bit more practice in this car as well. Shout out to other series sponsors as well. Us here at Infinity Broadcasting, if you want to support us and support the series that we broadcast here, the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on the channel. Next up on the docket on the channel, Friday night, the IRWC Rod Knot Cup comes your way for our first road course of the season, our only road course of the season at Watkins Glen for the Cup circuit out there as well. Then after that, Saturday night, 8:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, myself, Brett Fisher, in the booth for the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Split 2 action of Season 24. Round 4 out at Portland International Raceway makes its debut into that series and onto the channel as well. To SPP Graphics, as Sam Muir's going for a move here on OC and Colangelo into Turn 1, couldn't quite get it done. To SPP Graphics as well, massive thank you to them. If you want to get your dirt bike looking as sexy as possible before you cover it in mud and dirt and get it all scratched up, send those guys a message over on Facebook to get you sorted too. And to Black Art Designs, if you want to get your sim racing car looking as sexy as possible before you end up inevitably putting it into a wall, send myself, Hamish Munro, a message on Discord and we'll get you sorted with that as well. SPP Graphics, VRS, link to the description. If you hope to get in contact for Infinity Broadcasting or Black Art Designs, send myself a message over on Discord. Brenton, we've got about 7 minutes to go. Matty Bowler's going as long as possible before he has to commit to this pit stop and give the lead of this race over to his teammate Lachlan Capel. OC and Colangelo's in the exact same position, and she'll give the podium position then to Sam Muir and Simon Mazzomo, who through that ad break got past Angus Lawford, who's apparently made a mistake and ended up off track.
Yeah.
So for Simon now,
he lost 10 seconds there.
This is now a good opportunity here for Mez to jump up the standings. This would put him P2 in the title race, and this puts Sam Muir P1 in the title race leading into Bathurst next week, because I think I figured it out. Job gets back 165 points for the Red Bull ring that he dropped previously, so it'll drop him a couple of positions, but it is points on the board, so even taking tonight as a drop round, he at least... Bowler's in. I expect Colangelo in as well. So it's like, even though he didn't race, he's scored 165 by getting them back. So it's not horrible. There's still time to come back in this season, though.
Death by 1,000 lashes here for Bowler and OCR, unfortunately. And Mez has done a really, really, really good job to get that car up into a podium position. That car was... And he was having a shocker as well. At the start.
Lockie's done well as well.
Lockie's done well. Lockie's always been thereabouts, whereas Mez had some early issues and dropped right back. But let's see where Bowler comes out. Colby Warren's going to be in front of him, and he's going to stay in front of him.
Oh, this could get tasty between them.
And that's despite Colby having that drive-through. So that just shows you how significant that stop was to not take it. So complete strategy blunder there. P13, Matty's come out in. OCR P18. There's going to be a fair chunk of disappointment amongst those two.
I'm sure the PowerPoint presentation that you give them for the post-race review is going to be quite significant of the importance of fuel stops and taking them on the safety car.
It is a PowerPoint presentation that's been cut and pasted way too many times. But up the front there, Sam Muir and Simon Mazzomo, we said at the start, this is their chance to cash in for the series whilst Job's away. Lockie Capel, again, we said at the start that there might be an ERT spoiler. Well, we've got that at the moment, but Muir and Mazzomo have done a great job getting their cars up to where they maximise their positions tonight, I think.
Yeah, I think they've, as I said to you at the start of the show, not necessarily a win, but a podium was a win for them tonight, because it's about as close to maximum points as they could have hoped for. I think for Sam, it's a little bit less so than Mez. Like, the win would have been a lot better for him, obviously starting on pole. But for Mez to start outside the 10 and then get up to P3, that's a massive result for him. Massive chunk of points gained. And this is the kind of performance that he pulled out last season. Just consistently pulling his way forward and getting sneaky podiums. And now that we're at the halfway point of this season, he's in the championship hunt once again. He keeps himself out of trouble. He's such... And I say this with the most kind of heart and in the bestest way, he's a sneaky worm, the way that he just gets points on the board and he keeps himself in the championship fight, as Damien Cairns has a slight off track there. Mez sneaks, I don't know how he does it. He's a bit like you in Vets, Brett, and he just sneaks his way forward and gets solid points on the board every single week. Sam does that with pace.
So Bowler looks like he's calling it a night. He's boxed again. And I would say that's it. Learning experience for Matty. Drove well. Cannot fault his driving tonight.
No.
Can absolutely fault the strategy. And to be honest with you, if he wasn't in P1 at the time of the safety car, he probably would have just followed the leader. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. And his night is done, I would think.
So we've got around about 2.5 minutes left of this race. Oh, Martin Lofthouse has just gone round right in front of John Akers there. So the Riot Sim Racing car's trying to find their way round some other drivers on field. Paul Wilson managed to get the job done. John just didn't quite get it done there in the end. Harry Dodds battling away with Ryan Mueller. These guys have got plenty of experience racing around each other over in SRW. And now they bring their fight together again in the Porsche Cup Series as well here for the IRWC this stage of the season. Good to see Dan Yeaman up into P6 after those early issues. Breton up 4 positions at the moment. and a really good example of just to keep going when you encounter some difficulties, because he managed to get them fixed. And if he can hold this position, this will be a solid performance for him tonight and some good points on the board with roughly 2 minutes to go and about 2 laps to go, or 1 lap to go, sorry, when Lachlan Capel crosses the line.
Yeah, Lockie's driven a real heads-up race tonight, as has Mez, as had Muir, and so's a bit of a shout-out for Dawson and Lawford. Lawford, again, showed some pretty good racecraft last week. Had tripped over a few times, but been pretty impressed with what he's done. But, yeah, and also Alan Dawson. You know, we haven't spoken a lot about him. Here he is up to P4, a gain of 5 positions, good qualifying, in 9th place in qualifying. I think he's driven exceptionally well tonight.
And a great race last week as well from him too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. So he again is someone who's ever improving and is a threat for top 5 overall, I believe.
Yeah, he would be at the moment.
Yep.
He would definitely be challenging that. And I think that's a great end to the season if that can happen for him.
Absolutely.
I think as well, what we'll likely do is, so obviously if we continue to get these amount of drivers in here, because the irony does not sit lightly on me of, you know, our big subscriptions that we have to give away the year, the 6 months to 3 months that we have to give away at the end of the year for combined points across all 4 seasons. It wouldn't really necessarily be fair for people who participate maybe this season, next season, and then season 4, because it means that, like Mez, for example, very likely would win it because he has participated in both seasons thus far. Likely in future, and we'll be able to discuss this further and further on throughout the next 2 seasons as well, just to make it fair, we will probably give drivers a drop season. So, say, for example, Mez does all 4 seasons, say Sam does 3 seasons, Season 1 would be Sam's drop season, and it's going to make it a bit more fair for him and other drivers as well. So if you're thinking about signing up and coming racing with us, you do still have opportunity to win those big subscriptions on offer, because we have got a year to give away by the time we get around to what is Season 2 of iRacing next year. It'll be Season 5 for us. So, you know, we want to be able to give those subscriptions away, and the best way we thought was to just combine the points of all 4 seasons and give it to our top 3 seeded drivers for the year.
Well, I see Jake Burton's got an interest in joining the series.
He does.
And Jake's in desperate need of VRS help. Hello, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'll be in need of that. Up front, though, we've got, this is the last lap, and many bowlers come back out. Looks like a bit of a formation finish for the team, as Lockie Capel comes not far from not long to go now.
Up and towards the final few corners now for Lachlan Capel. His teammate Matt Bowler just on his heels. What could have been for Matt tonight if not for mistakenly not coming into the pit lane under the safety car and committing to the better of the 2 stop strategies tonight. 1 stop was not going to work without multiple safety cars on track. Up towards, though, the final sector now of this track, although it does just seem like it keeps on going forever and ever, does the bend, if you're not used to seeing action around here. Around the final corner, though, for Lachlan Capel, and it's a race win on the board for Lachlan Capel and Evolution Racing Team. Job Stewart might not be here, but it's still a win for the team here tonight by way of Capel up 11 positions. Sam Muir comes home in P2. He'll take the championship lead into next week out at Bathurst, and Simon Mazzomo, the defending champion, finishes out this race in P3 with Alan Dawson, another impressive performance in P4, Angus Lawford in P5 with Daniel Yeaman, Damien Cairns, Alex Schuler, Blake Fitzpatrick and Craig Schultz up inside the top 10. Schuler up 15, Fitzy up 18 and Schultz up 14 in a great effort. Boyd up 3 into P11 tonight, and Ernie Toth, a very impressive performance, up 16 into P12, just ahead of Hayden Veld there in the end. OC and Colangelo, Rodney Golan make up our top 15, but it's good points on the board for Lachlan Capel. ERT managed to limit the points gain of Sam Muir and Simon Mazzomo in the end, but unless they finished towards the back, it was never going to be in doubt that one of them was going to take the championship lead into Bathurst next week, and this time it's going to be Sam Muir who does that.
Yeah, good effort by Lockie. Did a very good job all night. Gain of 11 spots, so starting 12 on the grid. He would have probably been disappointed with his qualifying, considering his teammates were well ahead of him, but come race time, he was just super consistent, Yeah, his fastest lap time was just over 2/10 slower than the fastest lap of the race. But he would have done lap after lap very close to the same. Consistency is key. And this guy brings consistency, he brings speed. And as every race goes by, he brings a little bit more experience to the table. I really rate this guy very highly. Very, very happy to have Lockie in ERT and hope he stays here for a long, long time because he's such a versatile driver. He can step out of this car right now, go to a GT3 tomorrow, be very competitive, go to a supercar on Wednesday for the next round of the Pro Series, and be very, very competitive. He's a great all-round driver.
Yeah, I think he's shown that he's definitely got the all-round acumen in this car as well. It is going to be a very, very interesting rest of season for him. But I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing what Lachlan can do now. A win on the board for him. Obviously, that's good momentum for him, Brenton, leading into Bathurst next week, where he would have had plenty of experience in the sim. So that will be a good opportunity for him to make up some good points as well. Hopefully, we see Joe back next week as well, ready to put more of a challenge in towards this championship. He has given up probably around about, I think from memory, it's around about 70 points now to Sam Muir and Simon Mazzomo, but that can easily be gained back throughout the rest of this season. If Job does Job things and wins races upon races upon races, he can definitely make those points back, especially in the upcoming double rush round of Bathurst and Okayama, where it's very, very hard to earn points in those races. Those 2 rounds for Job Stewart, he's going to have to focus on getting points more so than getting race wins, especially in the first 2 races, as there's only limited points on offer.
Yeah, I'm not sure of Job's long-term commitments each week. But talking about tonight, really, really good race. I really enjoyed the 60-minute race, especially when the safety car came out. It was unexpected, but it certainly tossed up a lot of strategy, didn't it? I would think without the safety car, Bowler had the pace to go on, but it didn't happen that way. And, you know, Capel, Muir, Mazzomo, and Dawson absolutely cashed in. And a really special shout-out, Dan Yeaman has, you know, he pitted early, but it wasn't a long stop. So in the end of the day, he still had the normal 2 stops. He ran very short on the first stint, obviously, but then went very long in the second stop. But up to P6, so a really, really good effort by Dan Yeaman. And also a special shout out Damien Cairns, who I said at the start is suspected of making some mistakes. No mistakes tonight, up to P7. And Blake Fitzpatrick gained 18 positions. We gave him a shout out as well, up to P9.
Well, we've got our podium finishers waiting to come and have a quick chat to us here this evening. Starting with defending champion Simon Mazzomo tonight in P3 on the road. Mez, we've cut you off once again. I do apologise. Get cut off, Mez. But solid points on the board tonight with Mr. Stewart away. This season you've been, I called you this in the nicest way possible, you've been such a worm, just wriggling your way up into positions to get points, and it's been so good to watch because you've been a driver that hasn't necessarily had the 1 lap pace, but you've had the race pace, and I think the drive tonight, after having an early incident where you spun round, to come back and finish out in P3, this is a phenomenal effort from you, and it's good enough to currently give you P2 in the championship into Bathurst next week. Talk us through how that race went for you and how the preparation for Tailem Bend this weekend was in getting comfortable in this car around this track.
Yeah, well, considering how I went last round, being a bit of a disappointment, yeah, I'm shocked I'm actually on the podium. Yeah, I said beforehand coming into this, I wasn't feeling like I was gelling with the track at all. I was struggling to try and find pace. Quali wasn't too good. Start of that race wasn't too good, but I made a few adjustments through the race, and it was kind of like that sort of like clicked. And then, yeah, the last half of that race was just fantastic. The pace felt good. Wasn't going to be as quick as Sam. He was just on another planet, but you know, quick as Capel, quicker than Alan behind me. Yeah, the pace was coming on really, really good. So yeah, just can't really say much more than that. It was just a round where I wasn't expecting to get much out of it, and yeah, I'm quite happy how it ended up.
Well, obviously, this is great points for you. This now, as I said, situates you P2 in the championship leading into Bathurst next week. Job does gain back 165 points that he did drop previously back at the Red Bull Ring, but you would have outscored him tonight technically by 70 points then. So you've got a pretty good gap over him at the moment. He's going to have some work to do for the rest of this season. Bathurst next week, Okayama the week after, 2 rush rounds in a row. What do you think your focus is going to be on in those rounds to try and get as many points as possible throughout them?
Bathurst is going to be damage minimization because I think it's well known throughout the community that I don't like Bathurst at all. So yeah, put some laps in, try and just get through it without making too much of a stuff up, and then yeah, probably get into Okayama. Okayama's a track I actually really enjoy. I've done all right there in the past, so yeah, we'll see how we go there. But you know, I know I said this last season, and I was like, don't factor me in for the championship because it's like I'm just here to have fun and race, and I you know, I'll say it again. I'm not looking at the championship. I'm just taking it round by round. If by some miracle that we end up in the same position we did last season, where we go into the final round with the championship shop, cool, that's awesome. But yeah, I'm not thinking about it at all. There's plenty of other quicker guys out there that deserve it. So if I can show up and get P3s like this, I think it's been a good season for me.
That will both warm the hearts of the other drivers, but also make their blood boil because they really want to win this. And you're not even thinking about it, and you're currently P2 in the title race. But no, I mean a phenomenal run tonight, though.
It's not saying I'm not trying. Like I'm not like rocking up and just having a Sunday drive. I'm still putting the effort in. I'm still trying to get the best result I possibly can. But I said you got to be realistic. There's drivers out there that are better than me. So, you know,
there's always going to be someone that's better than you. It's always going to be the case. So you know, even in Job's case, there's always going to be someone out there that's better than him. It's whether he can find them or not. Obviously, that you know makes it a bit more difficult. But I think you're sitting well. You're sitting in a good position at the moment to continue pushing forward as well. We're hopeful next season we can either match the level of drivers we had this season, because then that would mean we can go to classes, or we can go further and then have splits, because we'd love to have 2 splits next season. I think that would be absolutely fantastic and such a cool way to expand. Obviously, from last season to this season, a great growth in the next season. If we were to be able to go to 2 splits, that'd be fantastic as well. But we're very realistic in the fact of there is natural drop off, and we don't want split 2 to naturally drop off and then split 1 also to drop off 2. So we're trying to figure that stuff out. But Mez, fantastic race tonight. You've had a pretty good season thus far. P2 in the championship now, leading into Bathurst next week. We look forward to seeing how you go. Let us know who helps get you out on track by way of 95 Sim Sports, and anyone else you want to give a shout out to as well. And yeah, congrats on your P3 here this evening.
Yeah. Also, congrats to Capel. I was just had to hook down there as well. I started down where he was tonight, and he's done a phenomenal job. Stayed out of trouble, made the right strategy call. So yeah, congrats on Capel for a really good win. Big thanks to the team as always. Craig, partner in crime this season. So cheers for being in comms and helping out. Sponsors, Racecraft, RSW Graphics, Track School Track Days, Racing Ears, you guys for putting on the great broadcast, and the guys for putting on the series. It's awesome.
Well, Mez, best of luck next week at Bathurst. Look forward to seeing how you go, and hopefully we get to have a chat to you once again.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Next up, we have... oh, great, now I've got to find him. Here he is. Sam Muir. P2 on the road this evening, and now P1 in the championship as well. Sam, congratulations tonight. You take home P2 on the road. Started on pole, didn't match it with a race win, but you match it by taking the lead of the championship into Bathurst next week in the orange number next to your name, and a great gain over Job Stewart, who was away tonight. You gained about 70 points on him based on his drop round points that he'll now gain back from the Red Bull ring. But what did I say to you? Put in the drop rounds and you were going to be in the championship hunt, and you came into this round P2. Next week, you'll be P1. How does it feel to get another solid performance on the board and really putting in a proper championship challenge at this stage of the season?
Yeah, cheers, Ham. Yeah, a little bit frustrated tonight, which, I suppose if you're frustrated with the P2, then that's a good thing. But yeah, had the pace to win, but the luck just didn't fall our way tonight. And then, yeah, taking the championship lead, I suppose it's always nice to be at the pointy end, but there's still a very long way to go. And I think it's a bit of a poison chalice at the moment, but leading the championship. I don't think anyone who's gone into a round leading the championship has come away leading it. So, and with next week being a rush round, I think there's every chance that's going to happen again. But no, we've put a solid campaign together so far, and looking forward to the second half of the season.
One thing I will say to you as well, Sam, is send me a DM this week and we'll get your paint fixed, because unfortunately your banner, I haven't had a chance to actually check the banners because I've had COVID across the weekend. I was actually going to check the banner file as to why it's not working properly. Get in contact with me, send me your paint file, and I'll put the banner on for you too, so you can have your beautiful paint on track, because you've had such good runs the last 2 weeks, and unfortunately it's been with a plain white car. So that's on me for whatever reason the banner's not working properly, but yeah, we'll get you sorted with that. But you mentioned Bathurst next week. It's going to be quite chaotic. Rush round as well. We've got 2 weeks of rush rounds in a row before they're done for the season. So the next 2 weeks are going to be crucial. It's going to be very on edge for some drivers, because there are some that struggle to get points in those rush rounds, and there's others who know the name of the game and how to really game the system in terms of getting maximum points in those races with the limited points on offer in the 2 15-minute sprints. If you can survive those 2 rounds with getting maybe on average 200 points in both rounds, how do you then feel for the last 3? Obviously, Interlagos as the final feature round of the season, then Long Beach for the final sprint, and then Belle Isle as the finale race. How are you feeling if you're able to gain, or able to get maybe 400 across the 2 rounds across the next 2 weeks, and then go into those final 3 rounds where there should be good racing on offer, but also good points on offer too?
Yeah, I'm pretty tempted just to sign the deal and have 400 points next to my name and just sit out the next couple of weeks. That would be awesome if we can get that sort of all across the rush rounds, because as you said, yeah, it's going to be pretty tricky to get through, especially at Bathurst. Yeah, it's going to be on for young and old, and yeah, going to be tricky to walk away from there with a good haul of points, but we'll see how we go. And then, yeah, looking forward to the rest of the calendar. Interlagos is a track where my pace isn't all that great. I do enjoy it, but don't tend to have the best pace around there. And then, yeah, I think finishing off with a couple of street tracks is going to be awesome. Really enjoy both Long Beach and Detroit. So, yeah, bring it on. Really looking forward to it.
Well, I'll get prepared as well. Next week, I'm hoping to release the calendar for next season. We're going to be running through it this week and planning it. I've got some tracks that are already on in my mind as locks, or early locks for me. It's just about us figuring out all the dates. We did announce tonight as well, we will be having a special, we're going to be having a special collaboration with the Gamesman Pro Series, with the GT Series, and obviously Logitech Supercars Pro Series as well. The weekend of the Bathurst 1000, Saturday night of that weekend, we're going to be having a special VRS Porsche Cup Series race that weekend as a support category, which will be worth championship points next season. But depending on how the drivers feel, we may offer an extra drop round in case they can't make it that Saturday night, of course, being that it's on a different day. But next season's looking exciting. Hopefully we can see you out on track again next season as well, Sam, but there's still half of this season to go, so still a championship challenge to come from you too throughout this season. But let us know who helps get you out on track. Anyone you want to give a shout out to. For myself, Brenton, and the rest of the league, congratulations on your P2 here this evening, and for taking the championship lead leading into Bathurst next week.
Yeah, cheers, Ham. And yeah, that's really exciting to hear about next season. This series is going from strength to strength, and it's, yeah, really cool to be a part of and go on racing head-to-head against some of the best in the country. So yeah, awesome stuff. Just gone privateer, but I guess I'll give a shout out to my former team, 19. I don't think I've done that publicly just yet, but yeah, massive shout out to them. They helped me enormously to develop as a driver and get quicker and quicker, and yeah, wish those boys all the very best. Chris actually hit me up with a livery, so it is a shame that it's not loading on this one, but I'll definitely hit you up this week, Haim, so we can get that sorted for next week. Yep. Cheers, guys, and well done to Capel and Mez for filling out the podium. Great race.
No worries, Sam. Best of luck next week at Bathurst. Look forward to seeing how you go, and hopefully we get to have a chance to chat to you once again.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Well, Mr. It is the 018 car of Lachlan Capel in P1 position here tonight. Lachlan, congratulations. You did the job of the boss tonight that he wanted, which was limit the points gain of Sam Muir and Simon Mazzomo by taking home the race win. But solid points gain for your own tonight, up 11 positions into P1. Chat us through that race for you, man, because you had a great effort tonight. You didn't make the similar mistakes that OCN and Matt did by not pitting under the first safety car. You came in and you reaped the benefits of that by taking home the race win tonight, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I guess that was just a race of attrition. 1 hour races are not too long, but they are longer than the standard sprint formats I'm used to. So it was just sort of don't make the mistakes. It was unfortunate with what happened there. I saw most of the field come in. I learned from my mistake in Majors 2.4 when I didn't pit and got the other end of that. So pitted then, and then, yeah, unfortunately Hayden got the short end of the stick, braking too late for the pit entry and got a stop and hold penalty. So it was definitely a little bit more luck on the luckier side tonight. I mean, I just didn't make the mistakes that everyone else made, but other than that, yeah, I just sort of drove my own race. I think that's when these long enduros type races where it's just sort of you on the track, you just got to keep lapping and make sure that any mistakes you do make are very limited, and that's sort of what I tried to do.
Now, Bathurst next week, Lachlan. Rush round as well, so obviously it's going to be quite chaotic next week. Damage limitation is going to be quite important. Are you feeling that there could be some good points on offer for you next week, or are you thinking it's going to be a wait-and-see scenario on how well you go across the 3 races out at Mount Panorama?
I think it's more of a wait-and-see. I mean, I'm decent in the Cup Car battles. I don't know if I'm the quickest like tonight. Like, I definitely wasn't the quickest tonight. Probably will be the same scenario then with Joe back as well. But just because it's a rush format and it's a full invert grid, I believe that, yeah, it's just going to be play it how you find it, because with 30 Cup cars, say, going around there, full invert grid with the fastest at the back, slowest at the front, it's just going to be a big mess. So it's going to try to avoid the big crashes. Can't say that if I get into a position I'll try and move from it, but there's probably a good chance that if there's a big wreck on that full invert, I'll probably get involved just by matter of being there.
Well, it's been a good race for you tonight. How much confidence has this now put into you, obviously going forward for the rest of the season? Obviously, you got a lot of experience in other car types like the supercar and the GT car. Are you getting more and more confident in this Porsche Cup car now, or is it still a bit more of a learning curve going forward?
I am getting a bit more confident in it. I loved how it drove when it first came out. I don't like how it drives currently. It's just way too understeery for my taste, but with the fixed setups, and they're not actually too bad, so it is generating a little bit more rotation into the car where I do like. It's obviously way different to a GT, just because no driver aids, and especially the braking I'm not used to, and then V8's obviously no driver aids as well, but much more power and much more rotation. So I definitely would say I'm getting better at it, but over the season, I'm still not the fastest, but I know that if I can just be the most consistent, that's how you put together a championship. Because if you get random wins now and then, but you don't succeed to that extent in other races, the putting together a run just doesn't work. So I'm doing okay so far. I mean, I have missed a couple of races out due to uni commitments, so we'll see how we go with the rest of the season. But, you know, even with missing rounds and that, probably a top 10 or a top 5 is still on the cards. So we'll keep plugging away and see how we end up at the end of the season.
Well, Lachlan, a massive pleasure to talk to you once again. It's been a solid performance for you here tonight. I look forward to seeing how you do next week out at Bathurst. I'm sure if you make a mistake, Brenton's going to be just as opinionated as he was tonight, or critical as he was tonight on OCN and Matt not coming under pit lane. No, I kid, of course. But no, I mean, it's you drove a very good race tonight. Your team did as well. It was just a shame that the strategy didn't go some of their way, but it went the way for you tonight, so you reaped the benefits of that. Congratulations on the race win. Let us know who helps get you out on track. Anyone you want to give a shout out to from Evolution Racing Team, or anyone else who may be watching in support of you. And then, yeah, for myself and Brenton, congratulations on your race win once again out here at Tailem Bend.
Yeah, appreciate that, guys. Yeah, just obviously a big shout out to Evolution Racing Team and the sponsors Logitech G, MPI, and all those guys back at the team working on setups for V8 and GT and that, and then sort of coming in here to try something new, because we haven't done P Cup since AOG, so getting back into it's been really fun with the guys, and big shout out to Ocean too for helping me out. So the last stint with managing the gap between me and Muir and Dawson. So that was really, really nice of her. So we played really, really good team games there. You could say team games, but when you've got the teammate in the position where we had, it was probably the best to play that way. So I appreciate all the efforts from everyone, and yeah, shout out to you guys for the broadcast as well. Sure, it's going to be very good, especially with Brenton there. Always love to hear his takes. It's always good. I remember watching the Pro Series podcast back the other day. It's always good to listen to.
Well done, Lockie. Good job tonight, mate. Very good.
Thanks, Brenton.
All right, Lockie, best of luck next week out at Bathurst. Look forward to seeing what you can do, and hopefully we get a chance to have a chat to you once again.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Can confirm, Brenton, Ellie Gardner has been in to chat to the stewards, and it seems has had her penalty reversed. So
yeah, makes sense.
That's the beauty. The beauty of the time penalties is we can easily reverse them.
Yeah, well, it certainly wouldn't have been worth any more than the 10 seconds. So, oh well, good job by all, and good job by the stewards to recognise that there may have been an error. So we've gone to the DRS, and the umpires given it not out.
Yep, exactly right. But it's been a fantastic night on the road once again here, of course, for the VRS Porsche Cup Series out of the IRWC, as well out here at Tailem Bend for Shell V-Power Motorsports Park for the international circuit once again. Next week we head out to the wonderful Mount Panorama circuit out at Bathurst. I was trying to download the B-roll. I forgot to do it before the show. It's got like a minute left, so we're going to miss out on the B-roll for Bathurst tonight. But a massive thank you to you, Brenton, once again. Why is it? That is sized really wrong. And I don't know why, so we're just going to do that. That'll fix it. Massive thank you once again, Brenton, for being out here once again. It's a great race as always. And I think next week at Bathurst, we're going to be in for an absolute rips and order. I'm really excited to see these guys run around there in a more, you know, for a track that these cars race at in real life, for a very similar format that they'd run in real life as well, of the 3 races, of what is being mimicked as a race weekend next week in one event. So it's going to be a lot of fun for us here. If you're watching for the first time here on Infinity Broadcasting, you've been here for a while, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here. As I mentioned earlier, next up on the docket here for the channel is Friday night, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'll be in the booth for the IRWC Rodnock Cup out at Watkins Glen for the Cup circuit for our only road race of the season in the ARCA cars. And then next time after that will be Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Season 24 action of Split 2. Out for round 4 at Portland International Raceway as well. Myself and Brett Fisher in the booth for that one. A big thank you to VRS once again for supporting the series, as well as SPP Graphics and Blackheart Designs as well. You can check out the direct links to VRS and SPP Graphics in the description down below. And if you're interested in getting in contact regarding Infinity Broadcasting or Blackheart Designs work, send me a message over on Discord and we'll get you sorted with that stuff too. Thank you so much though for joining us once again. I'm Hamish Munro Brenton O'Brien alongside for the VRS Porsche Cup Series. See you guys next week out at Bathurst. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Control, feel the thunder in my soul, through the danger, through the pain, only one thing to do to get to victory lane, taking risks, full send, and in the end, be the best, it's taking over, cannot contain, the desire to get to victory lane. the roaring ghosts that never last. But here I stand, the finish line, one last race, one last time. Through it all, get past the pain, cutting laps, making gains, feeling tired, get to my aim. The desire to get to victory lane, speeding faster, no control, feel the thunder in my